NISSAN in Europe, Mr. Simon Thomas.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NISSAN Press Conference. A particular welcome to all of our Facebook friends that are watching online. Did you know that today there are 67 press conferences here at Geneva Motor Show? 67. That's a lot. And there's not a lot I can do to get you through that, but what I guess I can do is just keep the numbers to a minimum, keep the charts to a minimum, and tell you something about NISSAN that perhaps you don't already know. Let's start with last year's performance. Last year for NISSAN globally was a record year. We sold 4 million units worldwide last year. That's a 21% increase on the previous year, well ahead of any market increase. We were also the #1 top-selling Japanese brand in the biggest market in the world, which, as you know, last year was China, overtook the US. Now, we used to be the #1 top-selling Japanese brand in Europe, but we want it back. Today I'm going to declare Nissan's intention to win back the #1 top-selling Japanese brand in Europe. That's our ambition. Now you may ask, is that credible? Is that achievable? Well, obviously we think it is. In fact, in many markets in Europe, in major markets in Europe, we're already the top-selling #1 Japanese brand. Example, UK, and also in Russia. And if you look over the last 3 years, you'll see our market share has grown significantly and constantly every single year. And if you look at our market share this year to date, it's the highest market share we've ever achieved in the history of Nissan in Europe. So, what has fueled this growth for Nissan in Europe? Well, I could list a lot of things, but I'm just going to mention 3. First of all, we've established 600 additional retail points, and we're going to establish another 400. So that's 1,000 extra dealer retail points in Europe. Second reason is the last 2 years, just the last 2 years, we've launched 10 new products. And that makes our range in Europe one of the youngest of all the brands. Third reason, and this might surprise you, we sell 24 different products in Europe. Now, we're represented in more segments than any other brand in Europe. Any other brand in Europe. Now, our products, I guess all these products that we sell, the 24, we sell 4 different crossovers. And they're probably the products that we're most famous for. Quite rightly so, because we are the undisputed leader in crossover sales. More than 1 in 4 of the crossovers that are sold in Europe wear a Nissan badge. And the Nissan Qashqai, that's just sold 1 million units, has increased its sales every single year since it was launched 4 years ago. And we've just launched the Nissan Juke. And already that's our 2nd best-selling vehicle. And we already have more than 70,000 customers waiting in line to take delivery. But we don't just sell crossovers. We sell, as I said, a very wide range. We sell 3 small vehicles. This is an area of the market which is growing, and an area of the market where Nissan has always had a strength. We sell 4 SUVs. And we also sell a very wide range of light commercial vehicles, 6 light commercial vehicles, including the 2010 International Van of the Year, the very flexible NV200. And we're also pretty famous for our sports cars too, including the awesome and now legendary Nissan GTR. So all this diversity from just one brand. It's just one brand. But of course now, we're adding a new category of vehicle to the Nissan range. Zero-emission electric vehicles. 18 years of battery development and more than 4 billion euros of joint alliance investment gave us this, the Nissan Leaf. It's the only 5-seater, full-size, dedicated platform EV on the market in Europe today. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the press, you voted it the European Car of the Year, and for that, I sincerely want to thank you, not just for the team that brought this car to market, but everybody in Nissan. We genuinely celebrated really hard that night when you gave us that vote of confidence. And we didn't really get much of a vote of confidence from our competitors when we showed this car for the first time 3 years ago, or even when we showed it in Geneva 2 years ago. Most of our competitors were saying that EVs weren't viable. There wasn't any demand for electric vehicles. Well, while they were asking those questions, we just built one. Now you can go around the stand today and you'll see EVs, concepts, and future EVs that most of our brand competitors are exhibiting. But they're mostly talking about tomorrow. The Nissan Leaf is on sale today. We're building the Nissan Leaf today. It's on sale in 3 different continents today. We're even building the factories in Europe to build the batteries in the cars today. And it is the only affordable full-size EV that's on the market today. So is it viable? Is there market demand? Well, we have 250,000 hand raisers that say it is. And we also have 27,000 customers that have been prepared to put a deposit down to take delivery of a Nissan Leaf. So yes, it is viable. And yes, the market is ready today. But this is only Nissan's first step into the world of zero emissions. And to give you a glimpse of perhaps what we might do next, I'm going to hand over to our Chief Creative Officer, Mr. Shiro Nakamura.
Hello everyone. Simon has just talked about some of our most exciting and innovative launch in recent years. Those were exciting and innovative are at the heart of what we do at NISSAN. We believe in delivering innovation and excitement for everyone, not just a few. We believe in innovation which is useful to real people in the real world. Innovations such as family car without exhaust pipe, a supercar that can carry family and their luggage, paint that heals itself after it's been scratched. This belief in customer-focused innovation underlies everything we do. It is our guiding light in new product design. And we are not alone. This month's edition of Fast Company magazine ranked Nissan 4th in the world top 50 most innovative companies. That falls behind Apple, Twitter, and Facebook, all of them known for their customer-focused innovation. We are proud to be in such a distinguished company. So, what would you expect next from Nissan? We are always looking for a new inspiration. So we looked at 2 most exciting, most extreme expressions of Nissan brand. At one end, our zero-emission family vehicle Leaf. At the other, our groundbreaking sports car GTR. And we have taken our sports car heritage and our EV expertise and combined them to create something very special. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to S-Flow. This concept car combines the excitement of sports car with environmental benefit of an electric vehicle and blend them together into one dramatic rear-wheel drive two-seater. Its design is themed around a tapered compact cabin and a very pronounced wheel shape as a part of Nissan sports car family. But S4 is entirely new sports car that has been designed from outset as a zero-emission vehicle. S4 runs highly efficient twin motors placed above the axis of the rear wheel. They independently control left and right wheels, optimize the torque to ensure outstanding vehicle control. And speaking of power, S4 charging ports have been ingeniously concealed under the headlight. The lithium battery packs are located along the axis of the front and rear wheels. This centralizes the mass of the car and gives the vehicle stability to deliver sports performance beyond anyone's expectation. Fly-by-wire steering and the pedals contribute to the smoothness of the drive and help make the relationship between car and driver absolutely seamless. A relationship that is enhanced even further by Bluetooth, creating a new level of connectivity between the car, the driver, and their digital world. So, crucially, everything has been designed to make S4 experience exceptional. The Nissan S4 puts a spark into electric vehicles. Great sports performance, but with a social conscience. Thank you very much.
So the S-Flow, that's another great example of Nissan's product innovation. But it isn't just through electric vehicles that we'll approach the environment. Our strategy is far wider and more holistic than that. To give you an example, we're going to carry on very deep and investment in internal combustion engines. And one example of what we're going to do this year is 40% of our range that we'll sell this year will wear the Nissan environmental badge Pure Drive. And there's a great example over there with the new Micra. The new Micra will feature a new 3-cylinder supercharged low-friction petrol engine that will emit just 95 grams of CO2. Now that makes it one of the cleanest petrol engines on the marketplace. And in many ways, it makes the case for an expensive diesel engine in a small car almost redundant. Now in Nissan, we like to think we don't just innovate in products and technology, we innovate as well in other things, programs and in our campaigns. And I'd like to give you one example, and I think you'll like this example. Some of you may have wondered who drove the S-Flow onto the stage a moment ago. I'd like to introduce a young man. His name is Lucas Adonis. Lucas is the very first deserves that round of applause because he's the very first graduate from the Nissan GT Race Academy. Now, the Nissan GT Race Academy is a joint venture with Sony PlayStation, where we searched the gaming community to try and find people that could go onto the racetrack to see whether we could take them from the virtual reality to the reality. And Lucas is our first graduate, and you've come a long way, Lucas, yeah? We've taken Lucas away from his armchair, we've confiscated his widescreen television and his PlayStation, and he's been competing for Nissan on a real racetrack. And this year, I'm really pleased to announce that our very first graduate from this academy will race competitively for Nissan in Le Mans. And I wish you the best of luck, Lucas. I think you're going to do a great job. Thanks. So I hope you've seen today that Nissan have made a real commitment for growth in Europe. We continue to invest in our products and our retail network right throughout the crisis. And we're seeing the results in our increased market share month on month. And you've seen and you know that Nissan lead the industry in many innovative ways. Crossovers, electric vehicles, and many other areas. And that's what gives us the confidence in Nissan to believe that we will realize our intention to be the #1 top-selling Japanese brand in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Nissan, thank you very much.